TV. And yes, it is the month of Empower. That is a hashtag. GAW TV is a hashtag. Make sure you hit both of them up when you tag us. But before you do that, make sure you like this video. Comment below. Tell us we're awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, please do. And Lisa, hit that bell icon.
I can't find it, you guys.
You've lost your bell?
Same. I'm looking at this is my ring.
There you go. Perfect.
Does that work?
That works perfectly.
I'm kind of bummed.
That's okay. That's why we
Yeah.
have the super magical bell sound that chimes in, as it were. And of course, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. That's very important so you don't miss anything here on GAW TV. But we want to hear all about your NWA Empowerrr predictions and thoughts on what you're excited to see on the pay-per-view. So do comment below, as Mickie said. And of course, after this show at the top of the hour, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can join all three of us here for our live Zoom after party. We're there every single week. Ella joins us, Sal. It's a big party on Zoom. And it can all be found on patreon.com/GawTV. So don't miss it.
And guess what, guys? Not only that, you can listen to us through your ear holes, GawCast, the GawCast. And big shout out to A Wrestling Gal for converting our show to podcast form or GawCast form. But and also too, you guys know what my favorite is.
Oh yeah.
My song. My new favorite karaoke song. Move over, Gretchen Wilson. Mickie James and Chapel Hart took over your spot. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. I know you're not. I love it.
Anthem. It is, and it is the official theme song to NWA Empowerrr. Is that right, Mickie?
That is true. That's very true. I'm very excited about that. You know, just getting our grown ass women shit.
Rooftops of the city.
That's
time we show them world.
Show
what got you.
My favorite part.
That's the part I get stuck on. That they're more than just pretty.
That's right. As Daphne would do, I can cry when I want to. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. It was the greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever. Also, huge shout out to our sponsors here at Legacy Subs. A little cheap plug there. Make sure you're using the hashtag GAW because you're going to try to build those muscles. Just being awesome. Being awesome over here. I know all the ladies are taking it leading into Empowerrr. But speaking of Empowerrr, you know, obviously we have a very special guest today. We have a very special show lined up, and we were saving him for this very special episode as we run down the card for NWA Empowerrr. So, ladies, are you ready?
We are ready.
Please welcome our dear friend, drinker of the daddy soda, host of Sirius XM Busted Open, Mr. David LaGreca.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo!
I got my daddy sodas right here. I'm double fisting.
All right.
Are you double fisting?
Go.
I'm not out of the can guy. I got to pour it first.
Oh, classy.
Classy. And
my wine's out of the can today.
Wow, look at that. Oh my God. Yes. You put every guest to shame. Every guest we had to shame.
I came for real. I didn't come to play.
You didn't come to play.
I'm prepared.
Yes. I appreciate that.
He understands the assignment, as we would say.
Yeah. And speaking of being prepared, you know how we start the show? What you drinking, what you wearing.
Well, you know, I usually sleep in the nude. So I knew there was restrictions to the whole YouTube thing. So, you know what? I just got gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh,
nice.
What is that? Anita Strauss t-shirt? Who is that?
It sure is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Hold on, I got to do number 2 quick. Hold on. Not that number 2, but.
Okay, I got nervous. I was like,
we've taken breaks for a lot worse. Let's be honest here.
Ooh, you're really going for it. He came to party, y'all.
I'm prepared.
My God, hold on. I got to keep up.
I know. Wow.
I'm just drinking a little Baby Mike's hard lemonade, you know, the seasonal pick, the pineapple. I really like these.
Oh, I never tried the pineapple.
Yeah, Val, I put a blazer over top of my Tootsies
Nashville. Mr. Perfect hot spot. Yeah.
Yes.
I love him. That was one of his favorite places. Yeah, yeah.
Who doesn't love a good spot of Tootsies? You know, it's one of the
Thank you
oldest
guys
ones
for
in-
having me today. I mean, I'm afraid that this is going to be like the worst rated show you've ever had.
No.
Are you kidding? We're
Get out
so
of
excited to have you. Are you kidding?
If we wanted that,
Well-
we would have booked Robbie E ages ago. Are we kidding? He's been trying to be a grown-ass man on the show for a long time. We keep missing his calls. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on. Lisa, we have to talk about your fabulous merch you're wearing. And I noticed you have a very special glass you're drinking out of as well.
Yes,
What's on there?
well, thank you for asking. This is a cup here. I just did an appearance at a Smoky Mountain Fan Fest. And I was I sent pictures to Mickie because there was a live band and I'm like, they played Gretchen Wilson. And I was like, Mickie has to perform here. It's in Dollywood and stuff like that. But a fan brought me some moonshine, wine, vodka, and all this stuff.
Moonshine.
But I wondered, it has a little bit, there's little spiders on there. How cute is that? Like a little touch. But I know.
Are they plastic cups?
And then they cracked. I was boxing Val. I go, oh my gosh, I have wine all over my makeup chair. But I'm plugging in my merch. You can get this on Lisa Marie Varon. BigCartel.com. So,
Yeah, you can.
I have bills to pay. So
Hey.
get your shirt.
We are all here promoting so many different things. I'm promoting this lovely Pinot Grigio Fizz by Most Wanted. It did come out of a can, but I didn't want to be that girl and show the can. It's not always good to show your cans, no matter what people on Twitter say. Just for those keeping score at home. I thought I would go very pre-show, old school blazer. This one, I believe, is from Debenhams here in the UK. And I do want to say thank you, David, for being here because we want to say cheers because you have always supported wrestling and women's wrestling and us. So cheers and thank you for being here.
We love you. Thank you.
I came prepared. I'm a big Bud Light guy, and I know people hate on Bud Light. I love Bud Light, but I also have some Iron Maiden Trooper beer, which is like a dark ale.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Which is fantastic. Since, I'm a wrestling guy, I got some Stone Cold Broken Skull.
Yeah, you do.
How is that?
It's very good. It's very, very good. And you know what? I got this flavored, it's kiwi flavored beer, and it's called Combat Spandex.
That's so funny.
Where do you get that? Where do you get that?
Listen, man, you gotta be in Jersey. Jersey's got the best liquor stores,
Yeah, my
Dirty
God, that's
Jersey.
so freaking cool.
Jersey
And you
has
know what?
terrific
You're
daiquiri
gonna kill me on this. Jersey also has the best pizzerias.
bars. Ooh, them's fighting
Okay.
words.
Okay.
Well,
Get out of here.
I like
New York.
I like a good thin crust pizza. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I know, and I know Chicago. You know Chicago style pizza and everything else. No disrespect, but Jersey's got amazing pizza.
I don't like
David,
Chicago
go-
style.
I'm not either. I like thin, crispy crust.
Okay.
And of course you heard it here first. I would never say Chicago style pies, but I'm more of a thin crust New York style pizza. My dad's
I'm
from the
more of
Bronx.
a-
Quite frankly,
dad's
we're
from
here
the
for
Bronx,
these
so-
exclusives.
Yeah, I think I
David,
like
can you
the.
tell us what the
it-
best pizzeria is there? Can you reveal your fave?
In Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I love Positano's Pizza in Wayne, New Jersey is absolutely fantastic. Nellie's Pizza, if you like thin crust pizza in Midland Park, New Jersey is amazing. Those are my two favorite. Tervino's Pizza in Glen Rock, New Jersey has an awesome pie as well. And let me tell you something. I don't go for all this West Coast pineapple on the pizza
I don't like
and all that crap. I love just simple old school pizza. Just give me some cheese, some sauce, really good sauce, the dough, East Coast dough, the water's alkaline is perfect. That's all I need.
Me too. And you know what? If you pizzerias want to sponsor Busted Open, hey, reach out to David. Yeah, you're plugging in some businesses.
Please.
Pizza and some daddy
Free
sodas.
pizzas
That's
for
my night
life.
sorted.
Free pizzas for life.
All the
Yeah.
pie you can ever eat.
Yeah.
You know?
In the LaGreca house, tonight is pizza night. So I'm going out to get some pizza tonight for the fam.
Oh, I
How about
Are you
love
that?
sending us
that.
some? Are you
Take a
sending
pic.
us some?
I'll take
Take a
a pic and I'll send you some.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Please,
All right?
please.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, David, we are so excited to discuss the entire Empowerrr card as it is now. And this is what we're calling the month of Empowerrr here. But I have to get your first thoughts on when you first heard of this pay-per-view, when Mickie made that monumental announcement. What were your first thoughts?
Well, if you listen to Busted Open, and I'm sure you do, if you listen to Busted Open, I'm a big NWA fan. When people ask me what my favorite wrestling show is, I say it's the NWA. And obviously, I'm a big Mickie James fan. So when she made that announcement, I was very proud of her that she's doing something like this and having the opportunity to do this. And I'm glad that the NWA, allowed her to do this. This is an amazing platform for women's wrestling. So when I first heard about it, there was a lot of pride in it. And as a fan, I can't wait for what's going to happen for NWA Empowerrr.
Yeah, that's why we're so excited.
I'm so envious. You have so much passion. When you talk, you gravitate attention because your passion is so large. Like you're in the ring with us. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand. I'm on my third marriage. Okay, so after 2 divorces, like I learned that exactly. I got to show my passion a little bit more, I got to keep this one. I can't afford to have another divorce. So I got to be very, very passionate with everything that I do.
I love it.
I
love it so much. That's what I was going to say is that's why I'm so happy to have you here, David, because you have always been 1,000% supportive of myself, of a lot of women and of women's wrestling as a whole. And I think just you're so passionate about wrestling because you genuinely are a fan of the business and a fan of the game and and you get passionately upset when you see things that you don't really like. But I appreciate that because that means that you still are a fan of wrestling and why, and that's real, and I love that so much. And that's why.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I took a big chance doing this show on Sirius XM. I was involved with NFL. So, I was going to do something that I'm passionate about. And I've always been a fan. I love it. So I will always be a fan first. And I think that's why people gravitate to the show. I got Bully Ray and I got Tommy Dreamer and I got Mark Henry. They're the Hall of Famers. They're the experts of being in the ring. I'm always going to be the role of the fan. And I'm fine with that. And I think that's what makes this show so special is the dynamic of the professional and the fan.
For sure.
Very well said. And I love that you're always grounded and that you actually appreciate being reminded that you're a fan first, because so many wrestlers have told me, and I'm sure they've told us all before, that, oh, don't be a mark, don't be a fan. It's like, well, that's why we're all here. We're all fans. And that's why we're involved in the first place. So for those of you watching at home, if that's ever been said to you, we're all fans and we're all unapologetic about that. So I think that's fantastic.
I think that's the thing is that when you stop being a fan of the business, it's like we really should kind of, because that is what kind of excites that passion or why you want it to be the best or why you fight for a specific thing is because you are a fan of the business and you see it in this vision. And maybe it's not always the right way, but it certainly is.
Yeah. It's the authentic way.
And it means you
David,
care.
somebody wants to come in and say hello to you. Come in here, babe. I gotta fix this lighting because I feel like I'm like literally the sun. Look at my forehead.
It's your future. It's too damn bright, Mickie. It's too damn
so
bright.
I have to apologize because I'm on my son's iPad, right? Because we live in the country, David. I don't know if you know this. I live in Sticks and outside of Nashville. And so we haven't had Wi-Fi, like real Wi-Fi for the past week. It keeps kicking out. He says it's on now.
Yay!
Yay! So I'm gonna turn down this light. Hey, we found out.
I got a case of scoliosis.
Oh
my God.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So we have found out that Mr. Nicholas here is defending his championship with Trevor against Trevor. Are you gonna put your head in here?
Okay.
Jesus Christ! Did you get kicked by a horse? Did you get kicked by a horse?
I just went outside.
I think I'm turning this one off.
The dang horses got
Can
me.
you imagine if Nick did this entire interview and never showed his face? It's just muscles
showed his
up.
tricep. So we found out today, I believe. So
listen, I would never show up to champ, but whenever he wants to throw down and do a little gun show, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You're ready?
I've been working out. I do at least 8 or 9 push-ups every day, couple sit-ups.
At least
You know
8 or
what I'm saying? I lift up a couple of heavy boxes every once in a while. If he wants to do a little showdown, I'm ready.
Yeah.
What is
Bring
the
it.
what's the winner get?
What's the winner? He says.
Hey Nick, how big a boy are you?
How about?
Oh my God.
Well,
Roy
by
Mercer.
God, my wife Sharon Jeannie, she'll come down there, put a what is it? Something in you big enough to bait a bear trap. I was going to put over the fact that we found out today that the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship is going on the line against one Trevor Murdoch in a title versus career match.
Wow.
For St. Louis at 73, the very next night after Empowerrr. So obviously
That's
this,
very
you
cool.
know, it is
We
very
love
cool.
him.
Wow.
We also
I
found
love
out my opponent is Miss Kylie Ray.
I like her a
I
lot.
really like her too. I think she's mega talented. She's awesome. So I'm excited about the match. I'm really, really excited. She's a good
That's a
girl.
huge match. That's huge.
I'm
David,
very
your
excited.
thoughts on Kylie
David,
Ray?
what are you looking forward to, like, out of all the matches?
Well, I'm gonna show my fandom here. I'm gonna put on the shirt just so
Uh-oh.
everybody knows who I'm backing for NWA Empowerrr. I got my Genocide T-shirt,
Oh, okay.
so I am all ready. I'm all ready for that. So if you ask me about
Yes.
the Invitational Cup, this is who
I
I'm
did not
picking.
know that.
Genocide.
I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
I
Wow.
like Genocide a lot. She's awesome.
We were
She's
just
awesome.
talking about that. We're going to go down the card here, and actually, you just mentioned Genocide. So it's going to be Paola Mayfield with Miss Taryn Terrell, Impact
Yep.
Wrestling alum. I love her. And
Yep.
Genocide versus Kenzie Page. So we know where your heart is there, David.
Yeah.
Well, this will be a debut match for Miss Paola Mayfield. And Genocide is in the cup later that night. So Genocide, that, you know, her and Taryn and Genocide are together. But against one Miss Kenzie Page, who is a newcomer and who just had a match against Camille for the NWA Women's Championship, and she did not win. So yeah, but I'm excited. I really like Kenzie a lot. So we'll see what they can do.
And that's why I love what we're going to say. It's a good mixture of younger talent that a lot of mainstream fans might not know, but you mixed in some big names, you know, women that have been there, done it, but also women that are from the indie scene that have a lot of hardcore fans. So I'm really looking forward to NWA Empowerrr.
Oh, thanks, David. It's been fun putting it together because I tried not to book all the same girls that everybody has seen in different organizations. I really tried to mix it up because I think that there's an immense amount of talent out there. And, you know, it seems to me that the same girls are getting all the opportunities. And so I wanted to maybe perhaps find a few talents that haven't had that opportunity yet, because sometimes that's all it is the right person sees you in the right place. And then the sky is the limit, you know? So I'm just excited to see what everyone does. And I think it was a cool mix. And I hope that everybody's happy with the pay-per-view at the end of the day, but I do think it's a genuine cool mix of rookies, of people you haven't seen who have yet to shine, of legends, of, you know, we talk about Debbie Malenko, who's had 30 years off almost in the business, 20 years off in the business because of injury, and she's coming back at 50. It's just unheard of. It's just, you know, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good night for women's wrestling. It's gonna be a good night for wrestling.
Yeah,
How about that?
Take that ageism. 50 years old. That is so cool. You've really got a cool mix of girls that even I, you know, wasn't too familiar with. I think that's the most exciting part, is because if you put everyone that's been doing these pay-per-views or that's I know the names of, it's like, okay, but I actually am excited to see some newcomers. And also on the pre-show, you did mention Sky. I thought that was a segue into Sky Blue versus Christy James. Excited to see those gals, but also, Mickie, can you explain the battle of the brands? Because you've got Kylie Ray from NWA, and you've got Chica Tormenta, which is AAA, versus Diamante, right? AEW?
Representing AEW. Yeah, I'm really excited. And that's going to kick off the show. And I knew that I was like, this is a really cool thing because it's a top girl from each organization to represent their organization at this all-female brand, which was really the heart and soul of making this happen, because I go, not any promotion is doing one thing for their girls that is just, so why can't we come together in this magical place? If it's only for one time, I hope it's not just for one time, but even if it is just for one magical night, that we can come together and just celebrate wrestling and women's wrestling and how far we've come. So I think those girls are going to kill it. They may end up stealing the show because the first match, especially on the pay-per-view out of the gate, has got to kill it. And I know it's a lot of pressure, but I know every single one of them can deliver. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you know what, just so you know, for what's going to be represented that weekend, myself, Mark Henry, Billy Ray, and Tommy Dreamer, we have a fantasy league that's going on, which is actually going to end the weekend of NWA Empowerrr. We've been doing it for months. And 2 wrestlers that I can only have 6 picks, and 2 wrestlers are going to be represented NWA weekend. I have your husband, Nick Aldis, as my #1 pick, just so you know.
Yes, you do.
NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis on my list, and somebody who's going to be at NWA Empowerrr, obviously in a huge match, is Deonna Purrazzo. So I really think when you look at that weekend, like you just said, it's about pro wrestling with NWA 73 and then with NWA Empowerrr. I think it's a good representation of what's going on in the world of pro wrestling right now.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's a nice community. Like it's cross branding, which was never allowed like back in the day. They're like, no, you can't go to this company. You can't go to this company. You got to wait 90 days. And it's like a really loving, it's not going, oh, they're with this company. They're with this company. It's actually embracing all of our passion and love and our hard work, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see like the newcomers. I'm excited to see the fresh faces. That's what I get off on that. I'm like, oh, who's this person? I never heard of them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
definitely. And it's, like I said, it's a nice mix of both. But we've been watching all of your social media antics, Mickie. You've been so great to include everyone in your tweets, and we know that the hashtag Empowerrr, we've been using that all month long. And I know that people are extremely excited to see the return of some tag team women's wrestling. Tell us about this tag tournament.
I'm really, really excited about it because I think we talk about NWA 73 was already going to be a monumental weekend. It's 73 years of the NWA. It's incredible to be able to go back to the chase. And I just think that everything kind of aligned perfectly. And then, so when Billy asked about the female show, I think that there was already an idea to bring back, I mean, obviously he and I had talked about it, to bring back the NWA Women's Tag Team championships. I think it's cool because it gives women another thing to fight for, on television. So it's not just the one championship, and it just gives more opportunities and spaces for the women to shine. So that was already in the forefront. So then for him to go like, I think we should bring it back at Empowerrr. I mean, it's been 34 years since they've last been seen on television, almost the same amount of time since wrestling's been at the chase.
Wow.
It's crazy. And so it's pretty remarkable. And I'm excited to see these championships. I know they're going to be beautiful. We have 4 incredible teams. We have Red Velvet and Kylan King representing AEW. We have Hell on Heels, which is Renee Michelle, who I'm very familiar with from Maryland Championship Wrestling. We have the same kind of like little background there. And her tag team partner, Sahara 7. Hell on Heels. I like that name, by the way, because have you heard that song by Miranda Lambert and like the girls? It's like, I'm hell on heels, dude. I don't know the rest of it. That's kind of it. I really like that song. I know one part of it. Then we also have a former NWA women's champion and Allison Kay, and her best friend, their legit best friend, Smarty Belle. They call themselves the Hex, they're no strangers to NWA in the locker room. And then we have a brand new team, which we haven't seen before, the Free Babes of all second generation women,
Awesome.
all second generation women, Free Babe rules. I mean, it's crazy. We got Miranda Gordy, obviously, Terry Baby Gordy's daughter. We have Jazzy Yang, Jimmy Yang's daughter. And we have Hollywood Haley J. And that is Maria James. If you don't know Maria James, she's on the Independence Lisa. I'm sure you've seen her. I saw her several times at tryouts backstage at WWE. I think she'd even been at Impact. She's like the head female at OVW. And so that's her daughter. So it's really unique because it's very rare that you see a female or a second generation from a female in the industry, because we usually don't let them get in. we're like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, what are you doing, Dad? What are you doing, Dad?
I just felt so old. I was like, Jimmy Yang has a daughter that wrestles. Oh my God, I love Jimmy Yang. I can't wait to see what she
I
does.
know. I love him so much. And I remember little Jazzy backstage at WWE when she was Donovan's age. So then to think that she's a graduate of high school now, really dates ourselves here, but she's graduating high school and she's really like, he's kind of, obviously being her father, he's kind of cultivated her and kind of protected her and kept her in his little bubble at his school. And it's just, I think she had to graduate high school before she was allowed to work in front of people or to pursue wrestling as a real thing. And obviously that's been during the pandemic. So
David, do you have kids? And if so, would you let them get into wrestling?
My one daughter, Abigail, is a fan. Listen, I'm going to support her, whatever she does. And my daughter, Sarah, as well. Whatever they want to do, I'll always support them. And listen, I love it. Like, I'll tell you this, you know, you hear all the horror stories, like obviously dealing with you ladies have been amazing, but even the guys that I work with, they're tremendous human beings.
yeah.
I haven't really seen that shady side. I know there is, but I haven't really seen that. It really does feel like a tight, good community from what I've seen. So I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah. I say the same thing with Donovan. And I think the business has changed so much. Like a lot of this, like obviously there's always politics, there's always bull crap, there's always, but I think that that's across the board, no matter what you pursue and what you do. But I think the business has really changed a lot, where a lot of the real bullshit, Lisa, like in the stuff that we kind of went through, or even value, but like it doesn't happen as much anymore. It's not as like circusy as it used to be. It's definitely like a more
like what I would say was like, it's like if I had a child, like you know, we miss Christmas, we miss Thanksgiving and stuff like that. I don't want my child, like I love family time. You guys know weekends I don't have my phone on. I like spending time with my family. And if I had a child, I'd be like, I want to spend time with you. So I'd be a little greedy as a parent. That's where I'm saying is like, because you're traveling every single weekend. And I want to be close to my family. That's the only reason why. It's like, what are you doing? I want you to go to college close by me so I can see you. Selfishly.
I think you probably need to spend a Thanksgiving with the LaGreca family and maybe kind of change your mind about that. But I get it. But you know what? The way work is nowadays in any company, they really take a lot of time out of you. Like it's very, very hard to find that family time, no matter what you're doing nowadays.
No doubt.
Very true.
No doubt.
And that's why the song Sacrifice.
I want to get free tickets to stuff. If my daughter's in the business, she can get me free tickets.
There you go. We were just talking about Jimmy Yang. I did a show for Jimmy Yang and he paid me in a free hot dog. So this is the kind of perks that you get in professional wrestling.
Travel with him.
I used to travel delicious.
I love that guy. We used to travel together. And if we did well that night, like we were like, he goes, oh no, it's not Waffle House. We're going to Red Robin. It's like an upscale restaurant for us. But we used to go gambling and play the penny slots together. We were like, no, don't put 5 pennies in there. That's too, what are you doing? That's too much of a bet. Oh my God, that guy and I, like, we go way back. I love that guy. And I'm excited to see his daughter. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared.
We've got to have him on the show. We'll have to get his reaction of her at Empowerrr. We'll have to have him on GAW TV. When you talk about family, someone that we consider not only a friend of GAW, but like family is our girl, Melina. And I'm almost a little sad. I loved seeing her in Impact, Mickie, with you there. I was just commenting on how gorgeous you both look. But I'm almost kind of sad that it's like, oh, now you're going to be in Impact Wrestling. I never got to work with her there, and I was there for 9 damn years. But the fact that she is facing Deanna, who obviously, David, is your top pick, that's going to be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see that one. Personally, that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm very excited about that one.
You know, Deanna Purrazzo, you know, a year ago, think about it, a year ago, she was let go from the WWE. She was probably wondering what was next in her life and what was next in her career. And here we are a year later. She's part of this historic pay-per-view. She's the Impact Knockouts champion. Like, man, she really did an amazing job of rebounding out of a bad situation and rebranding herself and being a much bigger star than she was with the WWE. And Melina, I mean, outside of course, you three, I can't think of a nicer person than Melina. She is like salt of the earth, like great person. So to see the ring, I can't wait to see that.
I talk to her every single day. So our boxers in the morning, because we're old school, we do that walkie-talkie kind of app. Boxer, if you're watching, you got to freaking sponsor us, dude. I'm paying $39.
It's a daily thing. Yeah,
it's a daily thing. But we wake up, David. We wake up and I'm like, hey, girl, good morning. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Don't forget to get on your cardio. You have a match. You got to get up on your cardio. These girls work really fast. And she's like, we try to make each other like super positive. She's lost a lot of weight and like preparing for this Empowerrr, Mickie. She's been like really super focused and like getting gear made and just like try to promote it and that kind of stuff. And like, going in as an old school person, there's a lot of pressure not to look bad in front of these kids. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure.
I know, and I know she would put a lot of pressure on herself, but I'll tell you, just in honest conversations with her, it was shocking to me because I already knew what the people were going to do when they found out that Melina was going to be her opponent. Like, I knew that they were going to be excited about this match. This is a match that a lot of people have wanted to see. Melina's never been on Impact, has never stepped foot in an Impact ring. She's never went for the Knockouts Championship. And I was like, this is a marquee match. This is going to be great. And I knew Melina was going to deliver. I already knew Deonna was going to deliver because she's not stopped delivering since she walked out the door and started, like you said, she's had a whole new resurgence and an ability to kind of define her character in the image that she wanted to put it in. And I love that for her. So I'm really excited about the match because I know that Melina is, so excited about it, and she's like really stepping up her game and all on every level. But she called me after we named her as the opponent. From the reactions, her genuine reactions from the people, like she was so touched. Like it was really like she was very like
she cried. She cried because we live in a bubble. We don't realize people are still following us, and then when you get such positive reactions to us old timers, I hate saying
and
that.
Old timers.
Veterans, I don't know what to call us, but you're like going
legends.
As Tommy Dreamer calls me, grizzled vet. You're still like touched. You're still touched. Yeah, thank you, motherfucker. But you're still touched. Like you're like, wow, people still want to see me, and it's very humbling, you guys. But there's a lot of pressure. You're like, I don't work this style, but she was like, when I'm watching, she's studying like all of her matches, Deonna's matches. Oh my God, it's like, it's a different style. I go, you don't change your style. People love you for your style. We all have different styles,
Right.
and
that's what I would argue there, Lisa, is like, I don't understand. Melina is the veteran. She doesn't have to change her style for somebody else. She is who she is.
I think it's the pressure.
I mean? Like, I don't ever think that just because it's the new style doesn't mean it's the right style.
It's not the right style. Yeah, exactly. And I said to her, I go, Mickie's having different style of matches, and don't change your style. You're Melina Perez, man. You're freaking Melina Perez. You're a freaking legend. Oh my God. I go my retirement match was against Melina Perez. I got to choose my opponent, and it was very emotional. But we put so much pressure, David. We put so much pressure being old veterans. Because we're like going, we don't want to let any of our fans down. We want them to go, wow, she still got it. Why the hell does she retire? We want that feeling, Yeah,
but I think you have to look at it from the fans' perspective. And I completely understand where you're coming from. There's pressure. People have a certain memory of you, and you want to be able to preserve that memory. And I get that. But the fans are on your side. Like, you always have to remember, these people love you and they love watching you perform, and they respect what you've done for the business. So they're on your side. So you always have to remember that. That's why it gets me so upset when I speak to a lot of legends and they kind of forget how much they mean to fans, and like how you ladies, how much you mean to us. Like, and I know it's easy to forget in time because, like you said, you live in your own bubble. But just understand that, like, pro wrestling fans could be very jaded at times, and they could be very judgmental at times. But they're loyal and they're hardcore, and they don't forget. They remember what you've given to the business.
Yeah. I attribute that to, and maybe I'm wrong, but I go like, I feel like that is a very interesting psychological thing with a lot of people after they leave the business. I feel like we've spent so much of our career trying to be the perfect vision of what this one person that we've been trying to please, or was one group of people. And we forget, and we've spent a career of being humbled in a sense that when you leave, you've been so humbled down that you forget that you made a shit ton of history. You had some remarkable matches. You cultivated and helped pave the way for a generation and a generation to follow. Like, you forget all of that because you spent your whole career being humbled. And I sometimes say, like, fuck being humbled. Like, I'm so over it. Like, no offense. Yes, be humble and gracious and all of those things. But also, please don't ever forget how much because it took a lot of hard work and sacrifice to get those opportunities. Nothing came for free or was easy. Everything anyone got was, they earned it for the most part. I mean, there's a few tokens.
And David, like, when I was back at the Rumble, thank God Mickie pulled me to the side because she saw my face. I'm bad at, I show my feelings. I just, like, you know exactly what I'm, she's like, you deserve to be here. You're fucking Victoria. Like, you fucking, like, you just, you know, like, get your, like, they want to take all you, like, and I was like, I needed to hear that. But in my mind, when I was walking around backstage, I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm like, they called me 2 weeks ago. I'm not ready for this. I don't have Botox. I don't have my fake nails. I don't have my red streak in my hair. I'm not thin and chiseled like I used to be. I'm going to let people down. So I was beating myself up, but you need that. Like, our generation, I feel like, Val, like, you can, like in TNA, like, we would get each other's back, man. We would go, we would always, like, pep each other up and go, you deserve this, you deserve it. You know, and you need that freaking.
You see someone doubting themselves, it's when you go, don't do that, don't you dare do that. Like, we just
said,
if y'all want to replay, we just said to you when you said old timer, we said don't call yourself that.
Veteran, whatever.
I think it's a slippery slope to be a perfectionist, and that's wonderful to care so much, but it can become really all consuming, and that's really when you start to misstep, or you start to, as Mickie was saying, you start to kind of lose sight of what your worth is, and that doesn't happen here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. No, ma'am. No.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing, Val, is know your worth. You know, I remember, and I worked my ass off to get busted open on the air and to make it big and to make it popular. And then when I heard that it was the #1 sports show on Sirius XM, I was like, oh, now I'm finally going to get like I'm going to get the applause. And then I went into work that next day, and there was no like pats on the back. You know, there's none of that. So like, and it took me aback, and I was like, where's the accolades? And then then that's not what executives do. That's not what management, they want to keep you in that little box because they want to control you.
Yeah.
So you have to appreciate yourself. So you have to say to yourself, I know what I've accomplished. I know what my worth is. They know what my worth is, and they're not going to squash me down. I hear it all the time. Mickie, and I'm sure you've seen my rants and heard my rants on social media and stuff. Like, I remember watching like a Raw, and Mickie James, you know, multi-time world champion, is waiting in the ring coming back from break. And I'm like, are you shitting me right now? This is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And you know what? The fans know that, and you're not going to be able to keep somebody down because you always had the support of the fans, and that's the only thing that matters. They'll follow you no matter where you go. That's why NWA Empowerrr, I know, is going to be a big hit because your name is attached to it.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's not even it's not about me because it's a killer platform for all these women, but I have poured a lot of heart and soul. I mean, I've been so busy and worked so hard on this because I did put, I mean, I pretty much put all my cards on the table, put my all my eggs in this basket, because as most of you guys know, I tried to do this, and I went to battle for it and pretty much hung my hat on it in a kind of sense. And when I realized like that was going to be, I thought, or whatever, but now I have a true way to do it and the vision that I saw it in, and not without restrictions or restraints, or without somebody questioning me or humbling me. It's really amazing. And so I am grateful. And, you know, I've been quietly supporting the NWA behind the scenes because my husband's there. And obviously I'm friends with Billy. We're friends with Billy. I've known Billy 20 years. And so I think it's been magical what they've been able to do to bring the NWA brand back to a thing that we're talking about, to be able to celebrate 73 years, you know, into a thing where I always say it's not even like, I don't consider it a competition with anything that's on television, because it genuinely is so different. It's so different. And it's the type of wrestling I like to watch. It's not sports entertainment. It's wrestling. It's old school wrestling with a modern day delivery. And that's freaking cool. It's so cool. And I like genuinely get excited and enjoy watching the shows and enjoy watching those old school promos, the podium, and all these throwback nostalgia things that meant so much to me when I was a fan, when I was little Mickie James going like, I love wrestling, you know. It's crazy. And so it's cool. It's crazy how the business comes full circle sometimes.
And you know, Mickie, if you said to me a few years ago, NWA world champion, I would throw out, you know, Harley Race and Ric Flair, and, you know, I throw out those names. In 2021, when you say NWA world heavyweight champion, I instantly think of Nick Aldis. Like, you know, yes, the nostalgia helped to get eyes on the show, but now the talent that's on the show is really driving people to watch that show now. So you like you said, it's, you know, Bill, I tip my cap, even though I don't wear hats, I tip my cap to Billy Corgan, because he really did save those 3 letters, because those 3 letters mean the world to pro wrestling fans. And now it's something that I want to tune into every single week on Fight TV. Yeah.
Let's not give Nick Aldis a bigger head than he has, you guys.
We never even got to see it. He only showed us his smile.
1,000 and almost 40 days as champion. I'm like trying to do the math in my head.
Damn.
Over 1,000 days. I'm so jealous. I mean,
and on his off days, like today, he's giving us a topless review, which we all do appreciate from the champ. But like you said, Mickie, they're preserving that nostalgia, and it's everything that we fell in love with professional wrestling. And obviously, like David said, it's on Fight TV, and Empowerrr is going to be amazing. I have to say, not only do they have amazing male talent, but someone that we've had, Chelsea Green, on the show just recently, who's a part of the Invitational. But I want to talk for a moment about Camille, because Camille is somebody who, David, when she was on this show, the amount of confidence that she had on when she discussed defending her championship. I mean, what are your thoughts on her, first of all, David? Camille.
I've been a big fan of hers. You know, obviously she was paired with Nick Aldis for a while there, and she didn't speak. And what a great job of like not having her talk. You know, like if that was on Monday Night Raw, they'd have her talk in 2 weeks, you know, but the NWA did a great job for all that time. So then when she finally did speak, it meant something, right?
Right.
So then she was just this great presence. She looks like a tremendous athlete. And then, you know, on NWA, that match that she had with Thunder Rosa, I thought that match was fantastic. And then the match with Serena Deeb was great too. She can go in the ring. She's extremely athletic. I think the world of her. And again, just like Nick Aldis has waved the flag for the NWA, just to see Camille on AEW Dynamite just a short while ago, to see her stand in the ring. I mean, she's a giant. She's great. She's, you know, and I think she's just a huge star. She's only going to get bigger.
Yeah. And I do love a crossover. That would have blown my mind. Too. You know, 11-year-old Val watching wrestling going like, wait a minute, like we had the Invasion, WCW and WWF. That's nothing to compare to what's going on right now with all of the promotions, not only doing crossovers, but supporting each other. Isn't it about damn time? That's what is so exciting to me.
Love to see it. I'm so happy to see it. And I will say, you know, Camille, like you said, she does wave the NWA flag, and she is a hell of a women's champion. And I think, I look at Camille and you go like, she looks like an athlete. No, David, she is a thoroughbred of an athlete. She is a former football player. She is a former softball player. She is like, and she spent all that time, like you said, I think it was so carefully and perfectly done to have her as that enforcer aligned with Nick, because it automatically, she was seeing these top-notch matches. She was seeing the championship matches firsthand from that role, and being like, how perfect was it to have her as that, just the muscle, because most people would have went with a big muscular guy, but here is this beautiful woman who's strong and powerful and represents and looks like a damn star. And when she showed up on AEW, like, I'm sorry, she looked like a champion. She looked like a star should look. Like, she looked amazing. And then her and Leela, but then what a perfect, like, you talk about that, like Leela Hirsch, like, she's legit MMA background, but what a perfect, like, David and Goliath story that is. Because I have always been the vertically challenged one, and everyone has always been, and you know what I mean? I think she might be smaller than me, but I've always had to tell that underdog story. I've always had to, you know, be the one getting my ass handed to me and then try to fight and do the whole thing. So I actually, knowing that she's so legit and she does have that background, I'm really excited about this match, because I think it's two completely different styles. It's two completely different women coming together for a hell of a championship match. So it's going to be great. It's going to be really great.
That's right. We're all looking forward to that one. Camille versus Layla Hirsch for the NWA Women's Championship at Empowerrr. Just so you guys know, we were asking you to use that hashtag to join the discussion on social media. But I have to say, I love a sort of invitational cup type match. It keeps things super interesting. We've got some amazing women to talk about for the NWA Women's Invitational Cup. Our gal, Chelsea Green, our favorite hot mess, will be there. Who else are you looking forward to on this one, Mickie? Who do you have your eyes on?
Well, give the rundown on the cup, though. Give the rundown.
Well, let me explain, just because
I'll tell you who my favorite is later. You know.
There's been a lot of question about this cup and how it's going to go. And I feel like I haven't properly explained the situation, how this cup is going to go. So obviously we're going to have to figure out an order of, because there's 10 ladies, let's call them the top 10 ladies that we foresee that we believe would make wonderful NWA Women's Champions. And the winner of this cup will go on to face the NWA Women's Champion the next night. And we don't, at that time, we won't know who the champion's going to be until that match happens. So it's really exciting, because the championship could potentially change hands 2 times in the matter of 2 days. So it's really exciting. But the championship, this cup, the invitational, will start with 2 women. Every 2 minutes, rumble style, a new woman will enter.
Love that.
But it is only pinfall or submission elimination. No over the top, no between the ropes. And you have to be pin or tap out.
Wow.
So that is how it's going to go. So kind of a mix. It's a mesh. I've made it up. Gauntlet, rumble style, the NWA Women's Invitational. That is how this match is going to go. And
Mickie
I like
James
it.
rules. I love it.
I love
MJ rules. MJ rules. You know? So
are you going to be at the show, David? Are you going to be at the show watching this live?
I'm hoping to be there. I mean, if it's either I'm going to be in St. Louis or I'm going to have a party here in my house with friends watching it. Either one.
And you're going to send me a
Hold
pizza.
on. Let me look at my mail. I did not get an invitation.
She's like, I live for a pay-per-view party, the snacks, the camaraderie, like that was my jam. The first pay-per-view party I ever threw was for myself. No one else came. It was Armageddon 2000. I had my pizza, I had my soda pop, just me and the main event, and that was it.
Well, my wife's an amazing cook. So my wife's preparing. My wife, I don't know if you've heard, my wife has a very famous pierogi. Everybody wants to taste her pierogi. Okay. But I'm her husband, so I'm the only one. It's, and I'm telling you, it's moist, it's meaty, it's the perfect pierogi, my wife's pierogi.
Are we talking about pierogies?
Those 2 words just don't go there.
Everyone loves the perfect pierogi.
Everybody loves and my wife has the perfect pierogi.
Yeah, she
I have
does.
heard that now that you say that.
Moist and meaty. Moist and meaty. Yes.
That's our new tag team name, right, Lisa? Moist and meaty.
Moist and meaty.
Moist and meaty.
Next Empowerrr, Mickie.
Does she make like the potato with the cheese, or there's meat in the pierogi?
It depends what your preference is. You know, what's your
I'm all
preference?
about
Is
the
it
food. I'm all
meat
about the food. Do you see how you got my attention, David? You had me at pierogi.
I know, I know.
Food
And
on these shows.
I gotta be honest with you. That's how she hooked me. That's how my wife hooked me. My wife hooked me with the pierogi. She did.
Is she
She
a
had
wrestling
it.
fan? Is she a wrestling fan?
She didn't know wrestling. We got married in a wrestling ring.
Of
No
course you did.
way.
Yep.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper.
That's
And she knew nothing about pro wrestling. She didn't even watch it before she met me. And now she's all about it. So
She
yeah.
respects your passion. That's amazing.
Yeah, she does. She's the best. I have the best wife in the world.
I
No
love
disrespect to
that.
anybody here. She is the best.
Daddy soda
Don't say-
plus pierogies equals eternal love, and I love that.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
what I was gonna say. They always say that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an old one.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we have to wrap it up here, but I know that all the fans are so excited for this pay-per-view. And again, please comment below with what you're looking forward to seeing on Empowerrr. We'd love to hear your comments.
I would love to get your prediction on who you think's gonna win the cup.
Ooh.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, good question. I've really got my eye on this Masha Slamovich girl.
Oh.
I find her very interesting and very impressive. That's just me, but go ahead. Oh, Genocide.
Oh, yeah. And you know, like Val and I, you know who Val and I are rooting for.
All I'm
Ooh.
saying is after the pay-per-view, I might go walking after midnight. That's all I'm saying.
Meow. Thunder Kitty.
Thunder Kitty.
We
Okay.
love Thunder Kitty.
We like the old school. We like the old school.
It's a bit obsessive. We lightly stalk Miss Thunder Kitty. But no, honestly, we love Chelsea Green. There are so many fabulous
Yeah,
names.
I know.
And as you guys
After
have
last
reiterated
week,
before,
Lady
it's-
Frost had an amazing match last week on NW. I
Yes,
mean,
she
she
did.
was fantastic. So
It's such a
Lot
cool
of great
mix,
names.
isn't it? It's such a
Yeah.
mix
There's a lot of great,
of
Right,
it's
David?
a lot of
Right.
great names. And I think it's a cool mix of old school, of like a throwback, like the Debbie Malenkos, of people that are really hot. Chelsea Green is everywhere right now. Of the St. Louis hometown favorite, of the hometown girl, Tootie Lynn getting a shot at, I just feel like, and then, you talk about Bianca, Santino's daughter, who she's legit. Shoot, I can't believe that either. I go like a same with Jazzy Yang. Like I remember when she was just a little girl.
Yeah.
No.
And a name I hear on everyone's lips is also Lady Frost is getting so much attention on social media. People love
Very
her.
good.
I'd love to see her in action
Very,
as well.
very
So
good. She's very good. Yeah.
yay.
Yeah. And she's one of NWA's own, and Genocide obviously is one of NWA's own. So, I had to make sure we had a little, some sauce in there. I got to give my girls.
Yeah.
Because we'd like to keep that championship in house. You know what I mean?
That's what Mickie James used to say when we were wrestling. She goes, and then I'll give you a sauce. Whatever you used to say, sauce.
Sauce.
I would hit some good audibles, especially at house shows, David. Like, I don't know if you know this,
Oh.
but at live events, we'll call them house shows, live
Yeah.
events, the goal of every match is to pop my opponent.
Mhm.
That was always my goal. Like,
Those are my
because,
favorite matches.
Oh, yeah. Which
Yeah.
wasn't as funny to a lot of the new girls who were just like ABC wrestlers trying to think about what their next spot is. And they're going like, hot sauce, what?
Water.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, going off the subject, I know we have to end the show. I was going, Brooke Adams was tag teaming with me in TNA. And so we were going over a match with you, Mickie, and you're like, gotta ging, like, you know how we go over match. And then Brooke goes, I don't know what gotta ging is. And I go, I got it. I got it. It's yeah. And then like, she was like, she would always look at me and I'm like, don't look at me. I'm paying attention. I'll tell you what to do. But our lingo going over a match, David, was gotta ging, gotta up. I'll do this. I'll probably do, whatever. You know my moves. And she's like, I don't know her moves. I don't know
After
her
all
moves.
the years, you speak fluent Mickie, it sounds like. Fluent
Yeah.
in Mickie James wrestling talk.
And by the
A little
way,
hot.
as a fan, those years when you three were together in TNA, like are some of my favorite years as a wrestling fan.
Oh, thank you, David.
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh my
appreciate it.
You know
goodness.
what that calls for? You to open another Bud Light and down that sucker.
Yeah, we have an
Alright.
after party to get to
I
for
will
crying out
say-
loud. And you guys are all invited on patreon.com/GawTV. We want to thank you, David, for being here with your professional
Thank you
opinion.
so much.
We could talk about Empowerrr all month long, and we have been, but we wanted your professional opinion, which we so
Thank you.
enjoyed and so value your opinion. So thank you for being here,
Yeah.
David.
Thank
No
you so
doubt.
much for having me be a part of it. I had such a blast.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you
Cheers,
guys
guys.
are listening to Busted Open, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you're doing. And I appreciate you saying that, David, because I always say the Knockouts were doing women's wrestling right before it was a thing. So
Yep.
that's a cool
Hell
thing.
yeah.
So, yeah,
1000%.
Yeah.
no
We're
doubt.
now ready for the next
Cheers.
big thing, which is Empowerrr. Use that hashtag Empowerrr and please subscribe as we head over to the after party. Lots of love, guys. See you guys at Empowerrr. Mwah.
Love you guys. I'm craving some moist and meaty food.
Ew.
This is the word to go, yo.